Welcome. We are back. Another day in the market. We got the pullback. Been watching the last two streams, pretty much the streams this week. I've been saying that I'm looking for a short-term pullback, and today was that day. So we're going to talk about what I'm thinking now. And I have a very precise prediction for the market that I'm going to be sharing with all of you in about 10-15 minutes. We're going to start with crypto first, and we're going to talk about some other markets. Then I'm going to talk about the overall stock market. I'll talk about some individual names, and we'll probably have time for some ticker requests. So getting started with Bitcoin, if you all remember last night we were talking about how it was testing this trend line over here. It was testing a breakout, and unfortunately you never broke out, you never confirmed anything, you rejected it. So what was once a resistance in April twice and in May once already has now been shown as a resistance in June. It's also the first trading day of a new month. So large rejection off that exact level for Bitcoin today, going down to the 4-hour. You're now back in your range between like 28.7k and 31k. So it's like you had a fake out to the downside, then you had a fake out to the upside, and now you're just back in the same area that you were. So still frustrating on both sides. On both sides, just very frustrating if you're in crypto right now. Ethereum, remember that 1708 level is the key level. It's above it for now. Hopefully it can hold it. Dogecoin, still in the wedge. This crypto alert's not doing so well right now. It's actually down 8%. Hopefully it can just hold this blue zone, hold the wedge demand line. All right, these are key levels. It looked like you were making a move on Sunday. You were kind of starting to break out of some structures, and now you're just back to where you were. So it's not the end of the world, but definitely doesn't look as nice as they did look 2 days ago, unfortunately. So that's really the update for crypto. Going into other markets, let's start off with crude oil. Crude oil futures, this is another very interesting potential fake out. We were talking about how it was breaking out. It was back above this range spin in. It was breaking out, and then you kind of got this shooting star candle on the 31st of May, and now you're kind of rolling over again. So that's a little bit scary if you give up this level. I mean, you're kind of like maybe back testing a breakout, but you need to start going like right now for that to start confirming any sort of a breakout. So that's your update on crude oil futures. In terms of energy, XLE, inside day today, DOGE candle pretty much, indecision short term, not much of an update there. Let's move over to metals. Gold, trying its testing 200-day moving average. You closed below it yesterday, above it today. You're just testing that 200-day moving average. You still have some hidden bearish divergence developing. Silver, the bear flag breakdown. Today you kind of had an inside day as well. You've got the hidden bearish divergence there as well. I'm starting to lose a little bit of my bullishness in metals. You know, I was bullish down at these areas. You had a nice little rally, but I don't know, this just looks a little bit weak to me. It just feels like bear flag stuff. So we'll see what happens in time. 1 second. So those are your metals. And then we have the dollar currency index, big bounce today. Remember we were talking about this breakout on the 4-hour from this descending Browning wedge. The dollar currency broke out a couple days back, and you had a nice big move today. So that's very similar to the 10-year, which we can look at in a second. I mean, I was saying I was bearish in these areas, got your pullback, but now I'm starting to flip back to bullish. It's a very similar chart to the US 10-year, where you got really overbought, you had classic bearish divergence. It was just looking very toppy, both the dollar currency index and the US 10-year. And while they've been pulling back, you've been seeing this relief rally in the equity market. But now these are starting to look like bull flags with hidden bullish divergence on the daily. We can look at the US 10-year. Look how similar this looks. All right, I mean, let me just draw it the same way. Right over here. So this is the US 10-year, right? And then this is the dollar currency index. Same type of oscillators, same type of price action. And now these are starting to go back up, and now the market was red today. So you're seeing a shift here very clearly, where like the first decently red day for the market in I think like almost a week now is probably your best day in almost a week for the dollar currency index and the US 10-year. So that's an interesting formation. They're actually close to both of them are close to confirming hidden bullish divergence. And then finally, before we talk about the market, Hang Seng Index, just another inside day today. So that's pretty much what you had. So like I said, I'm going to give you all a very exact prediction about the market tonight. I'm going to read the chat here for a second. Make sure to hit the like button on your way in. What's up, Scrooge, Mine, More, Neff, JSOB, Electrician. Cheddar's in the chat saying, what's good, FTM. What's up, Nerve, AK. Cheddar Free saying, finally caught a stream, been a minute. Corey, what's up? Cheddar saying, come join like-minded traders, beginners to experienced. FTM Discord, dropping the link, thank you. The lump is, I think it's like is it like a cat in a box? I really can't see that emoji well. Cheddar Freeze, I did get a haircut today. What's up, Fab? And Cheddar Freeze saying Amazon smashed this week since the PRC. Yeah, we were looking at that last night. Really nice move. I think it was up again today, a few percent. It was up more in the morning and then it pulled back intraday. It was up 1% at the close. All right, so with all that being said, what's my prediction on the market? Okay, the market is going to go up or down or sideways. All right, I'm really indecisive right now, and honestly, going into tomorrow, I have no bias at all. On one hand, we got a bearish engulfing candle today. On another hand, we filled a very key level, which was a gap fill today, and it was also a back test. If you've been watching the stream this week, go back to Monday night. I did a stream, and the market was closed on Monday. So heading into the week, if you watched the preparing for the week stream, we were up over here, I think, and I was saying I'm looking for an early week pullback to this exact level. And we went down to that exact level today, and we bounced right off of it. It was a back test of the double bottom neckline, and it was a gap fill. So that early week pullback has already happened. All right, I said I was looking for a pullback this week. I was loading quite a few puts on Friday, yesterday, and then today. Finally, I got a really nice put trade, which we can talk about later. Or I learned a really nice put trade. But finally, this was a pull that I've been waiting for since like we got the pull today that I've been waiting for since we were like over here. So we finally got that pull. We bounced exactly where it would make sense to bounce. We're gonna go down to lower time frames in a second, but that's already done now, okay? So we've got the pullback that I wanted. And if we didn't have a bearish engulfing candle today, I would have just flipped to just straight up bullish, because we got a gap fill pullback and we just had 3 white soldiers leading into that. Plus we're still holding a very key level. The only thing that's making me on the fence right now is declining volume and this bearish engulfing after the doji candle yesterday. So really, the way I'd look at this, let's just remove all of this. I'd probably look at it, at least going into tomorrow and the day after, just like this, all right? Between Friday, Tuesday, and today, you've pretty much been in this little 407 to 417 area. It's about a 10-point range the S&P has been just chopping around in. So I'd say short term, above 417 would be a breakout to the upside, and then breaking under 407 with confirmation would be a breakdown. And if we were to do that, then I would look for the next gap. Honestly, you really can't, I can't really even see one over here. On the daily, it looks like you gapped up from this close to this one. Let's see, May 26th in the morning. So it looks like on the daily, like you had that, but on the 1 hour, it's not really there. Maybe on like even lower time frames, you'll be able to see it. There we go, very small, but got another gap fill around 398. All right, so, and that's if we break that 407 level, but I wouldn't even, that's such a small gap. I'd probably focus more on maybe even this zone, just 400, which is psychological level, and this 397 to 399 zone from these lows over here and these highs over here. But we are well above that for right now. Just looking at lower time frames, this morning we actually had this, like, this is if you watched last night's stream, we were looking at this as a bearish ascending broadening wedge. We broke down this morning and we went right down to the 407 level. We can actually head over to the Discord, scroll all the way up to 10:11 a.m. This was the breakdown. The 407 level is this white line. We broke down, we went right to that gap fill, and then we hit this gap fill and then we bounced up. That was a price action today. So that's pretty much what you did. Going into tomorrow, delete this actually. Yeah, under 407 bearish in my opinion, above 417 bullish. That's why I have an alert set up right over here and alert set up over here. Now in between these two levels, you could see some choppiness, and maybe you get some like little patterns that could be like scalp intraday trades, but my main focus is going to be waiting until we break out of this range in either direction. That's really how I'm looking at the SPY right now, and that's why I can't really give any sort of thesis, because I just don't have enough data right now. But those are your levels. We'll see what happens next. Moving on to the other indices. QQQ, another bearish engulfing candle today. You still did not, so the SPY filled its gap from May 27th today, if I'm not mistaken. So it filled its gap, the QQQ did not. That gap is all the way down at 300 pretty much. I have an alert set there as well. But what did I say last night? Even before that gap, you still had this neckline. So the interesting thing for the SPY was its gap fill and the neckline were the same area, this blue zone. For the QQQ, its neckline is a different area than its gap fill. So let's say that the S&P takes out this 407 level, right? Let's say it takes out this low from today, and the QQQ is no longer, all right, let me reword that. Let's say the S&P takes out 407 and the QQQ is not down to this gap fill over here. That could even set up a trade. Like let's say the S&P breaks 407 and the QQQ is like right here. Then I'd be looking for a move down to this area intraday, and then if the QQQ hits that gap fill intraday, that could help out in either way. Like how when the S&P filled its 407 gap today, the QQQ also bounced. Maybe if the QQQ fills this 300.7 gap and bounces there, the S&P will kind of move with it. So that's just another thing you can look out for. Just have an alert set. You also are kind of creating, like, I don't know, they're not really easy to chart, but you can delete these patterns now. These little patterns on low time frames, kind of just triangles, but they're not really the cleanest looking patterns. The Russell 2000, I'd probably redraw it to look like this on low time frames. On the 1 hour, very clear reject of that 188 level, which used to be support. You do have some hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour for the Russell 2000 though. And again, this kind of bull flag looking structure. On the 4 hour, not much. You had a bearish engulfing as your first 4 hour candle today and just an inside candle on the second. So that's your Russell 2000. NASDAQ, take a look at this. We broke out of the falling wedge it was in. And now, again, if you can't get above this zone, I'm going to be looking for a gap fill over here and also maybe a back test of the wedge. And then the ARKK ETF. Let's look at this as a megaphone pattern. So just further confusingness, I don't know, indecision, short term in my opinion, until I think the easiest way in my opinion to look at everything right now is 407 as support and 417 as resistance on the S&P. So that's just how I'm looking at the market short term. Currently futures are pretty much flat, they're down a little bit. And let's get started with some of the swings. See some mods in chat. What's up, Cheese Puff? And try to saying lots of puts bought into the close today. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Fisker tonight, and there's this group chat I'm in on Twitter for Fisker, and somebody brought up that Fisker had like a 38-39% short interest, and like last time I looked, I knew it was around like 28-29%, but it looks like it's increased. And this is according to FinViz, but over here you can see 38% short float according to FinViz. If I'm not mistaken, this is the largest short float Fisker has ever had. And also, interestingly enough, I didn't even spot this, like, I don't know, maybe I did actually. I spotted this on the weekly, this wedge. I don't know if it's the same wedge. But I was looking at FinViz's chart and they had just this wedge drawn, so I drew it on my daily as well. And also, so you have that high short float and it's kind of just in this major wedge. So it would just be very interesting to me. Let's say in 2-3 weeks, Fisker breaks out of this wedge and you start seeing some volume coming in. Could that set up a short squeeze? We'll see. There's no way to know until it happens, really. But that is a very high short flow percentage, and Fisker really hasn't made an explosive move in a while. I mean, it's been used to making explosive moves. I mean, its whole entire chart is very, very straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, like until just recently where you just kind of started chopping around. So it's been consolidating. It's got the high short flow percent. It's in this falling wedge. On the 1 hour, I actually have this triangle charted. So I'll be watching to see which way this breaks out. But that's just very interesting. So I want to bring that up. In terms of the other swings, CLOV had a rough day today, down 9%. Just, I don't know, just lost its footing today. Unfortunately, it did take out a key level, which was this. All right, remember I said you never confirmed the inverse head and shoulders, and what have I been saying all week that I would like to see it get above 3 before breaking under 2.5. Unfortunately, it did not. Okay, so that's just the fact of the matter. It broke down before breaking up. I'd say this inverse head and shoulders is kind of invalidated now. At this point, I'd probably start looking at it like this. All right, a little bit of a descending broadening wedge. You are oversold on the 1 hour. The last time you were oversold, it saw almost a 50% bounce. I don't know if it's going to happen again. If you can't find any support anytime soon, you do have a gap fill all the way around like 229-ish, which is why the stop of the swing is at 225. So rough. I was not expecting it to drop this much today. Yeah, it just really didn't find any support intraday, and it just kept selling off. It honestly today for CLOV reminded me of like the days over here where it was just like it just floated lower and lower, and then the market went up, but it still went lower. But yeah, just a little bit disappointing for sure. And in terms of the other swings, pretty much most of them pulled back. QS still around the alert area. I just want to see us hold above 1130. GameStop. Let's take a look at lower time frames first. It has this 15-minute falling wedge I'm keeping a close eye on. So keep an eye on this wedge. But on the daily time frame, it hit pretty much 2 of the targets, and now it's pulling back. It got, it went from this major support and breakout point right up to the 200-day moving average. Now it's pulling back. I mean, that's really not that surprising. 2 out of the 3 targets were hit, pretty much, and they did have earnings today. And it looks like after hours it went up, it went down, and then it closed kind of flat. So nothing too crazy there. Let's see. Net sales were 1.38 billion compared with 1.28 billion in the prior year's first quarter. The company attributed the higher sales to new and expanded brand relationships. The analyst estimate was 1.32 billion. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. Pretty flat after hours. Speaking of meme stocks, we can look at AMC next. Yesterday, this hit the second target of the swing. This is what happens, right? There's targets for a reason. That's why the targets are there. 2 out of the 3 targets hit, and it's pulled back 22% since that second target was hit. This is a very key level. If it can't hold this level, that could be a little bit scary. You could then head back down to these like double bottom lows. But yeah, this is a very important zone it's testing right now. Looks like it went a little bit lower after hours as well, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. And then finally, Zoom was flat today. So nice. 3 days in a row now where Zoom has held this 105 level it broke out of on May 26th. So those are the swing updates for today. Nothing too crazy. Let's go look at some other tickers on my watch list. We'll start off with Tesla. Down a couple percent today. Remember, I was saying I was bullish on it over here, and if you watched last night's stream, I was saying it looks a little bit bearish to me. I've alerted a lot of different Tesla puts in the last few days, which pretty rough luck on a couple of them, but yeah, hit this PCZ of this bearish shark, made this first reaction, second one, and if you watched last night's stream, I said you had both the reactions. You got a further pull today for Tesla. On the lower time frames, I'd probably just look at it like this. Well, that's where it's currently at. What else is going on? APRN after hours went up like 55%. Take a look at this. It pretty much lost all the gains after hours, but it did make this 55% spike. This was the name I was watching coming into the week with the high short interest. It was sent over the weekend in this watch list channel. Just a large wedge with the high short float percentage, and made a huge move after hours today. Blue Apron Holdings launches meal kits on Walmart.com. Is being reported by MT Newswires. All right, so that was a cool move today. What else? MULN had a pretty nice start to the day and then gave up some gains. We were talking about this name last night. little bit of a shooting star candle today. Pretty much the same analysis as yesterday. This one's very, very volatile right now. Coinbase got hit pretty hard today, down 12%. I don't know if it was because Bitcoin was falling or something, or if there was any news, but pretty much back in this little range it was already in before. Very similar to Bitcoin. So yeah, those are just some names on my watches. We can spend the rest of the stream just looking at whatever all of you want to look at. So drop tickers in the chat, and that's what we're going to be doing. APRN giving the Fisker vibes based on charts. They both are huge falling wedges with high short interest. Here's your falling wedge on Fisker, and then here's your APRN wedge, and I think they both have about the same amount of short interest according to FinBiz. 32% for APRN. I think Fisker was like 38% or something. Better Free saying lots of shippers have been moving well. KEX broke a falling wedge this week. GOGL potentially setting up with a flag. We'll take a look at both of those. Alright, so KEX. There's that falling wedge. Nice higher highs and higher lows, long-term uptrend. Still hasn't gotten above the COVID crash or pre-COVID crash highs. Which is interesting. A lot of other stocks have, but you know, overall it's still been going up since then. It's like, I wouldn't even call it a wedge because of how large it is. Just it's in an uptrend. And then you got that short-term breakout. I say next resistance IC. You got a little bit here at 70.20-ish, and then 74.50. And then GOGL. Maybe a little bit of a flag here. This one's also been in a pretty nice uptrend as well. Currently futures trying to go green right now, which is interesting. Got Palantir. Looks like to me Palantir is rejecting like these like pretty much, I think it was a SPAC, but whatever, we'll just say IPO for the purpose of the chart. Lows as resistance now. It does have this gap fill around $9. This is kind of looking bear flaggish to me though. This whole entire structure. So I don't know. You're testing like a supply line at the same time. You're testing a zone at the same time. You're testing a bear flag, or you're maybe creating a bear flag. A lot of different things going on. It's like everything kind of just invalidates one another. So I just wait for more price action. But yeah, any other charts you all want to look at, let me know in the chat. What's up, Meat Tender? How you doing? Take a look at Shop. All right, Shopify. Short term, it's like a little bit of a bearish pennant. Actually, you might even be testing a breakout of it, but that's like the short term pattern I see. And then longer term, I draw a supply line like this, maybe like a longer term wedge. A lot of different ways you can interpret that. If you really want to zoom out here though, it's I don't know. It's not really an 886 or 1.13 retrace, but pretty much made a full retrace to the COVID crash lows. And that is a support. Pretty much 309 is probably the level I'd like to see Shopify hold. Nice large wicked or large lower wicked candles off that level as well. Mackey's getting closer towards green. It's still oversold on the weekly. You could even look at this as a much longer wedge that it's testing and breakout of. So very interesting area for sure. Chart the levels for, yeah, sure. We can look at the APRN levels. So those are your levels on APRN if you want to take a screenshot. BYND down 5% today. This is still just in this downsloping wedge. Honestly, like, I do think at some point it's going to break this to the upside, but until it does, I don't know. It's just kind of doing the same thing every day, it feels like. So I just wait to see, and I just wait until it's broke out, honestly, personally. Amazon got very, very close. I mean, so close. The first target of the premium swing is 25.20. It went up to 25.03 today, like literally like 0.5% away from the first target. Hopefully it can just get a little bit higher if it wants to pull back, like just give us a little push first and then pull back. But yeah, Chad was mentioning in the chat earlier, we were talking about it last night. Very nice double bottom off that Cypher PCZ and also that critical $2,000 level. Nice double bottom playing out. You know, so as this gap fill up over here, it's just a question of, will it come up all the way here and fill this gap first, or maybe fill some of these gap ups from the past few days first? I think that's probably going to depend on the overall market more than Amazon itself, unless some news comes out, obviously. So that's Amazon. Keep in the like button if you didn't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the stream. Check out the links in the description. Follow me on Twitter at ChampionVibe. And yeah. Let me know if you want me to look at any of the charts in the chat as well. Also, there's two other things I want to do. I want to wait. I don't know if there's going to be any more tick requests, but after we're done with tick requests, I want to give a recap on the premium trade from today, and I also want to take a look at the ETF Simulator, because we haven't looked at that on stream in a while. Pizza Box says, any thoughts on the 10-year if you have time? Looks like Head and Shoulders developing with the second should top developing. I don't really get the second part of that, but we'll take a look. I don't know what time frame you're looking at. If we really zoom out on the weekly, to me this looks like just one massive right angled descending browning wedge, with your major resistance being this blue zone around 3%. Above 3%, then you could start charting like 3.75, 4%, 4.2% as your next resistance is, and then even like 5.2%. But I would like to wait for it to break out first before even charting those. And then let's say it rejects this resistance, then you know, you can cup and handle, anything's possible at that point. But that's like the really zoomed out chart. I don't really know about a Head and Shoulders though. 10-minute. Oh, so if it's on the 10-minute time frame, like I really don't care. And I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like that's just not going to be like affecting me much. Like I really look at this for like long term, but I mean, maybe you're just looking at this, so you're not wrong. It already kind of broke down though, and it's already playing out. So that's the 10-year. We got TLRY, NNDM, VRAY. But yeah, no, I'm just being honest. Like I don't think I've ever looked at the 10-year on the 10-minute. So, but yeah, you're right about the pattern, sure. TLRY, it's scuffed, but maybe just a little bit of a wedge here forming. I don't like how it's under this low from September of 2020. I'd say next support's like this low at around 389-ish, but I'd really like to see it show any sort of strength at this point, honestly. VRAY, was this on the watch list? Why does it sound so familiar? Sounds like, I feel like I just looked at this chart like very recently. I don't know why. There we go, it is on the watch list. Yeah, VRAY was sent on the weekend, over the weekend. Just a downsloping channel, nothing too crazy. I mean, if we really zoom out here, it's kind of like a bullish cipher as well. Or it is a bullish cipher, like very nicely. Yeah, that's VRAY.
Did you have fun today? What did you do?
Those are some levels. Nano Dimension is testing a breakout of this falling wedge. I also like how it's getting above this 294 area. I, in general, like to see it above 3 though. It's also got some short-term resistance around 310 to 313. So if it can just take out this little resistance area right here, that could set up a large move. I mean, after that, I don't see much resistance till like $4. So really getting above and holding above 3 could send you up to 4. Again, you know, this thing, I'm not trying to use this as TA as like a magic ball. I'm just giving you the potential scenarios based on the levels, but keep an open mind. So it looks like I feel like I got most of the takers in the chat. Let's talk about the only alert in premium today, which was some SPY puts. We already kind of talked about it, honestly, but we can just take a look at what happened. And let's just do a recap through Discord instead of me moving around through all the charts. So yeah, 10:12 a.m. I alerted some SPY lotto puts, same day expiration. These were 411 puts, and the S&P was at 412, so they were about $1 out of the money. And we can scroll up a little bit. This is pretty much what I was seeing. On the 5-minute, you had this ascending wedge breakdown. Then on the 15-minute, you had a little bit of a different ascending wedge breakdown. It was more of a broadening wedge over here. And this, I also share this in the trading chat as well. But yeah, I saw the breakdown this morning. I was looking at like this 410 type level and then that 407 gap fill as the supports. Within 3 minutes, they were already up 25%, and then it just fell right down to this first support level. Actually bounced off of it a little bit. And at 10:17, well before it was at 407, which is this white line. I know my screen's cutting it off, but this white line is 407. This yellow zone is 410. I said yellow zone is the final support until 407 gap fill. It ended up testing the yellow zone. And then it also created like this inverted cup and handle. Again, I was sending a lot of these charts just in the trading chat as well. I didn't alert puts in other chats, but the charts were pretty straightforward. And yeah, the push just kept running all the way until, again, this level was identified well before. Level was identified like 2 nights ago on stream. This is why you always want to be preparing the night before. This is why I like talking about these things on stream. So for those of you who aren't in premium, you can also be prepared and look for your own moves. But yeah, made the move, hit the gap fill. I think they were above 200% at one point. I just left it at 200%. And yeah, it went down to that 407 level. This was the low of the day. It bounced up over here, held a little bit at the close. That was really the recap from today. But yeah, it's nice because Friday was like one of the worst days in a while for like option alerts. And then we also started off the week with these Tesla puts failing yesterday morning. Then these were SPY lottos that started off horribly, but I never marked them red. They were just lottos, and I said only put them where you're interested. And they eventually made a rally yesterday. I think those were actually calls. And I also shared some AMD calls that worked there yesterday. I shared some pen calls, which the contracts are really weird. And then these, well, this was 200%, but that's pretty much the week so far in premium in terms of like the options, not everything else. So there's your recap from today. I forgot to do that earlier in the stream. And then also, we haven't looked at this in a while, and I need to start talking to Mehdi and Lord Bogendorf and Anna. We got to start, I think, maybe taking a look at this again. I don't think we're doing a lot of activity lately, and that's also not a bad thing, right? This is a long-term account. It's been doing all right. Bit of load, but in case any of you are not familiar, I share swing trades inside of premium and outside of premium. I share day trades mainly in premium that you were just seeing, but we also, for those of you who can't really be on your phone at work, or you just don't have the time for whatever reasons, and you're not a short-term trader, you're not even a swing trader, and you're a long-term, we have created this ETF simulator. It's me and 3 other mods in the Discord, and we actively give updates on this. So we haven't talked about this in weeks on stream, so I just want to give an update on how this is all going. So let's pull up the actual page. So all of you can see all of this, and literally everything I'm showing you, the link for this is literally in the links channel of the Discord. By the way, if you're not in the Discord, the link is in the description. And yeah, so this account started at $10 million. Overall return is down 6%. It's down, but we started this like pretty much, I think, like right around over here. I don't know exactly when, but the S&P itself is down 6%. So I think it's been pretty close to the S&P's performance so far. I know we were outperforming it when it was like at the lows, but we still, you know, just not the best timing to start it. But just an update on how everything's going. Still about 62% cash from the original 10 million, almost 63%. And then going into the actual portfolio, just looking at some of the positions, I can actually pull up the spreadsheet as well. Here we go. But yeah, a lot of the positions are just long-term stuff. A lot of the small caps are down a decent amount, but we've seen names like GameStop and AMC just shoot up like 40% in a week, like they did with the swings last week. So it's always possible. And again, like, you know, something like Fisker overall is down 20% in the core simulator. But like, let's see. And it's something just in general for all of you small cap and mid cap traders, right? So I'm just doing this roughly. I don't know if it's the exact number, but assuming since it's down 20%, let's say the average cost in this account is $12.50, right? If this wedge plays out, if that short interest plays out, that's a very easy move in my opinion. So in a lot of these names, and I'm just talking about mid caps and growth stocks in general, I don't think 20, 30, 40, 50% moves are that much. I mean, it's in this environment, they look like nothing, okay? This is AMC. This is a 50% move. If we zoom out, like that looks like nothing compared to how much you've sold off in the past year. So a lot of these names, I still have a lot of confidence in. We'll see what happens. And then there's a lot of names we're just kind of flat on. We can actually just take a look at this over here. So here we go. So we've already finished the like buys for a lot of these positions. It took us like on a lot of them like about a month to scale in. But we've got DraftKings, Citi, Palantir, Fisker, CLOV, AMC, SoFi, AT&T, CTRN, Teladoc, BYND, Penn, Coin, PII, which is Polaris, I believe, Skills, JPM, and then FCX. So these are the names we currently have in the core fund. We also all have our own like personal funds. Last time I checked mine, it was down like 11%. Right now it's down a lot more, so pretty rough drop. But these are some volatile names again. I think I'm in profit. I was more in profit. I think SoFi might have fallen today, but this was up I think like 20K at one point. So yeah, and then I got some Tesla, then I sold some Tesla to I think cost average SoFi, which did end up working out. But this is currently where we're at. We're doing this in the middle of a bear market, so we're not really focused on how we're doing this month or next month, but in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, hopefully a lot of this red turns to green. That's really what we're trying to position ourselves in. And remember, all of this you're seeing is only like, I'm so bad. Like, why can't I think of this? That's about 37% of the portfolio being used. All right, there's still about 63% in cash remaining. So we still have a lot of buying power, and that's not even talking about the 10 million in margin. So technically, if you include like everything all together, we've only used about a fourth of our buying power. So we're starting off slowly, but we'll see how this all turns out. I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like, I don't know, maybe a lot of people have forgotten about it because we just haven't given updates lately. But that's how it's going, and yeah, we're not going to look at this like every night because it's a very long-term thing, but just wanted to share this for anybody because I know there's a lot of people who are newer to the stream that see me talk about all this short-term stuff, and you might be more in the long-term lane. There is also stuff in the free trade movement like that for you, so make sure you check all that out. Links are in the description. All right, so yeah, and of course that's all fake money. I wish it was real money. I wish there was $20 million right there, but it's all simulator money. It's not a real ETF. We're not actual financial advisors. Those are your disclaimers, okay? Let's see. Mehdi is one of the ETF simulator ETF managers. Mehdi is saying, my purchases coming real soon, waiting for one more drop in market. Cheddar Free saying it'd be cool to code a chart for ETF. So bright. Yeah, Lord Bogendorf has made a lot of like graphics and stuff. Again, this is available to all of you. Like an actual like line chart would be cool. I'm sure we can make that, but you could see like the allocations per ticker, per sector. Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. Shout out to Lord Bogendoff for real, for making like this whole entire sheet. Chatter Free saying a little of something for everyone: swings, long-term fundamentals, etc. FTM Discord. Thank again. So there's your link in the description for the Discord. I think there was a couple other tickers in the chat we haven't looked at. AMD, I think it's already on my watch list. I'm actually keeping a very close eye on AMD right now. Take a look on the 50-minute. It's a cup and handle. So I have my alert set up over here. It's testing this handle supply line, but above like 105 could be a cup and handle breakout for AMD. So I am keeping a close eye on this name on low time frames. On high time frames, this is a premium swing. It already hit the first target, hit the second target I put to 106, the third target I put to 116. I do like how it's gotten above 99, which are the lowest from over here. And for the past like 3 days, it's actually bounced off of that level every day. Hopefully it can keep doing that. Just got on Bitcoin, already done. Yeah, Bitcoin's always like the first thing to look at in the stream, so that is done. Fab says this is a premium yearly, still at a discount. It is not. That was just a quick flash sale. But technically it's always at a discount. It's always 30% cheaper than monthly. Well, if you were to be in monthly for a year, it's 30% cheaper than that. So yeah, that's pretty much most of my updates from tonight. Not seeing any other takers in chat, so I guess we could leave it here. Nice 45-minute stream, pretty cool. Thank you all for watching the stream, for all the support. Make sure to check out the links in the description. Chatter Freeze just dropped the Discord link in the chat. I will see you all in Discord tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow night as well, so I will see you then, probably around the same time. Have a good night. If you choose to trade tomorrow, good luck, and peace out.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me, caught you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eye. I don't know why I ran away. I make you cry when I run away. You could have asked me why I broke a heart. You could have told me that you fell apart. But you walked past me like I wasn't there, and just pretended like you didn't care. I don't know why I ran away. I make you cry when I run away. Take me back, cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another, save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day. I made you think that I would always stay. I said some things that I should never say. I broke your heart like someone did to mine. Now you won't love me for a second time. I don't know why I ran away. I make you cry when I run away. Take me back, cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another. I realize that I'm much too late, and you deserve someone better. Save your tears for another day.